All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our information session today on Accounting Certificate Series Roadmap to CPA for the fall 2026 info session. My name is Mashur Chaudhry and I'm the Manager of Recruitment and Sales for the Chan School. Now, before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge the land on which Toronto Metropolitan University is built upon. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. I thank the Indigenous people of Turtle Island for their efforts to protect the land, and I deeply regret the past injustices they have endured. As Toronto Metropolitan University seeks to move forward in partnership with Indigenous people, I pledge to foster an environment that is more inclusive and welcoming of Indigenous people from all communities. Now I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's session. Your microphone is muted throughout the event so as not to disturb other attendees or the presenters. For the hearing impaired, we have automated captioning available, which you can access by activating it in the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. You can submit your questions for our speaker at any time by typing it in the control question box of their control panel. We'll collect them throughout the session and address them at the end of the presentation. Now I'd like to introduce our presenter for today. It's Dongning Yu, Academic Coordinator for the certificate. And before we do our presentation, I'd like to do a quick poll to get the temperature check of the room so far. All right, so if you can see the poll, it's what motivated you to consider your certificate today? And the options are career advancement, career change, skill building for current role, personal interest, and other. And then we have a second question. What is your current level of familiarity with this certificate program? And then we have the answers: high, moderate, and low. So we'll just leave that on for just a few more seconds, and then we'll end the poll, share the results. Thank you for taking part in this poll because it provides us really useful feedback for our panelists and our team as well. All right, so here are the results. As you can see, career advancement and career change are the highest, with skill building there as well. And then we have a mix of moderate and low familiarity with the certificate, which is great because we'd love to talk more about it and share. So now I'd like to invite our academic coordinator, Dongning Yu, to provide a brief overview of the certificate. Welcome, Dongning.
Thank you, Mashua, and thank you everyone for joining the session today and for your interest in our accounting certificate series. So today I will introduce our 4-level accounting certificate series and the pathway it provides for learners who are exploring accounting for the first time, building business knowledge, or working toward the CPA designation. So we will look at how the certificates build on one another and how the program is designed for working learners and how the series can support your professional and educational goals. So I will begin with an overview of the accounting certificate series and its structure, including the delivery format, time commitment, and progression through the 4 levels. Then we will look at who the program is designed for, how the series supports the CPA pathway, admission and enrollment, and the resources available to support you. So please feel free to note your questions as we go. We will leave time for questions near the end, and you are also welcome to contact us afterwards about your individual situation. So here is the overview. Our accounting certificate series is designed to provide in-depth skills training and hands-on learning experiences that help learners develop the knowledge and professional skills relevant to accounting careers. For those pursuing the CPA designation, the series provides a structured academic pathway toward the profession. At the same time, you do not need to be certain that CPA is your ultimate goal before you begin. The knowledge and skills developed through the series are also valuable in any role that requires a strong understanding of accounting, financial information, and business decision-making. Next slide, please. So each certificate is designed with working professionals in mind. Our courses are delivered fully online and are primarily asynchronous, with learner support available throughout the term. And each certificate includes 4 courses. And the courses typically run for 12 weeks and require about 3 to 4 hours of work per week, although the time needed may vary depending on your background and the course. And the program is flexible and can be completed part-time, which allows you to progress at a pace that works alongside your professional and personal commitments. So it usually takes 1 to 1.5 years to complete each certificate, but the speed can also depend on the courses you take each term and the course availability. So the estimated cost of an individual certificate ranges from about $2,300 to $3,000. And eligible students may also wish to explore OSAP, bursaries, and other financial support options. Next slide, please. The accounting certificate series consists of 4 certificates: Foundations of Accounting, Intermediate Accounting 1, Intermediate Accounting 2, and Advanced Accounting. Together, these 4 levels form a coherent, flexible pathway toward CPA Ontario's new professional program, which is scheduled to launch in January 2027. The full series includes 16 courses, with 4 courses at each level. And students progress from level 1 to the next and can complete the series at a pace that works for them. As the CPA profession continues to roll out the new program, our curriculum will continue to evolve so that students are prepared for the professional pathway in place when they are ready to internet. And we will communicate confirmed curriculum and transition changes to students as they become available. Next slide, please. So this slide here shows the courses included in each level of the series. At level 1, the Foundations of Accounting certificate introduces financial accounting, business law, economics, and applied statistics. These courses establish the foundation for further study in accounting and business. At level 2, Intermediate Accounting 1 builds knowledge in management accounting, managerial finance, and business information systems. At level 3, Intermediate Accounting 2 develops more advanced financial accounting, cost and management accounting, and information systems, audit, and data analytics. And finally, at level 4, the Advanced Accounting certificate includes auditing, advanced financial accounting, taxation, and strategic management. Across the series, students build competency in CPA Ontario's core knowledge areas, together with additional degree credit business courses in areas such as economics, business law, strategic management, and information technology. Next slide. So for most learners without any prior accounting background, Foundations of Accounting is a starting point. The 4 courses within this certificate provide the foundational business knowledge that supports further accounting study. And after completing the foundation certificate, students can continue to Intermediate Accounting 1, 2, and then Advanced Accounting. It is helpful to think of the certificate series as the academic preparation that comes before the CPA professional program, as shown on the left. The four certificates are not stages within the professional program itself, but they provide the prerequisite coursework and technical foundation needed to prepare for entry into the CPA pathway. So the overall path is complete the accounting certificate series, meet the applicable CPA Ontario requirements, and then move into the CPA professional program. And the professional program then develops and assesses candidates through its 4 stages and examinations. And if you have already completed one or more of these courses within the certificates or comparable courses within the certificates in a previous degree, please contact us to explore whether credit transfer options may be available. Next slide. Who should take this program? This series is well suited to career changers who come from a non-accounting background and want a structured, credible route into accounting careers or toward the CPA pathway. It's also designed for working learners who need a flexible, part-time study option while balancing employment or other commitments. And the program may be especially relevant for college or university graduates in a non-accounting field who are interested in pursuing the CPA designation, as well as newcomers to Canada who are looking to upgrade their accounting knowledge or understanding accounting in the Canadian context. Next slide. Learner benefits. As a TMU continuing education learner, you will have access to support that extends beyond the individual courses. This includes academic and career advising, as well as tutoring and coaching to help you stay on track throughout your studies. You will also have opportunities to connect with industry insights, peer community events, and trans-school networking opportunities. In addition, you will have access to TMU's library, digital learning tools, and other learner privileges. Financial support may also be available through bursaries, scholarships, OSAP, and other financial aid options. Next slide. The series offers more than a credential. It gives you an opportunity to build a foundation in accounting standards, practical accounting methods, and current business knowledge. You will have access to a companion learning journey, including tutoring, career advisors, and other supports that can assist you as you progress through the certificates. For learners pursuing accounting careers, the CPA qualifying courses in the series provide a clear signal of professional progression. And as a graduate, you will also join the TMU Chan alumni community, which can remain a valuable source of connection beyond the certificate. Next slide. Next steps. So the first step is to confirm that you meet the admission criteria. Applicants generally need a Ontario secondary school diploma or equivalent with 6 grade 12 U or M credits or mature student status. Once you meet the admission criteria, you can register for the certificate and enroll in one or more courses depending on the pace that works for you. If you have completed previous post-secondary coursework, you may also wish to review potential transfer credit options. For individual questions about admission, previous coursework, or enrollment, please contact us at ce@torontomu.ca. All right, that's some very basic information about our accounting certificate series. And thank you again for joining us today. And I guess we're ready to take questions, right?
Yes, thank you so much, Dongling, for going over that overview for the accounting certificates. Now we will open it up for questions. Please type in your questions into the question box and we'll get to them. So I think we've got our first question, which is if I eventually pursue the CPA designation, what would my path look like starting from this program?
Yeah, so it's you can think of the certificate series as the academic preparation that comes before the CPA professional program. So the four certificates will get you ready to enter the CPA professional program. If you can move to slide number 7 or number 8, I think on the left-hand side, it shows the CPA pathway. So in short, the certificate series provide the prerequisite coursework and technical foundation required to prepare for entry into the CPA pathway. So after completing the certificates, so you're ready for the foundational development module, and then CPA core, CPA leadership, and finally CPA professional readiness.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that answer. And yes, the slide is here, but just to let everybody else know that you will be receiving a recording of this session and the slides after the session is over today. Okay, next question is, will we learn how to use AI responsibility for accounting related tasks?
Yeah, that's a very relevant and timely question. So our curriculum does not include a standalone module specifically focused on AI, but we do have courses on data analytics and the role of technology in accounting. So this is integrated across the certificate series. And these themes are embedded in the development of technical, analytical, and decision-making skills throughout the program. So in particular, we have a course, Information Systems Audit and Data Analytics. So this course highlights how technology is reshaping, for example, audit practices and internal controls. And it encourages students to engage critically with digital tools and systems. So this course, I would say, reflects broader trends in the accounting profession, including automation, data-driven decision-making, and the changing expectations for AI and digital literacy. But as the landscape continues to evolve, we will, of course, review our curriculum. And of course, we see AI as an important area for ongoing curriculum development.
Thanks for that, Dongming. Yeah, it's such an evolving space right now. It is a hot topic that everybody is wondering about. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Okay, next question is there a competency exam if I've been in accounting for a while but don't have any of the courses that you can take?
So regarding the competency exam, are you talking about the exam that will be offered by us, the Chan School? If yes, then we don't have such exam. But if you have taken any accounting related course in the past, feel free to contact us. We'll be happy to review the courses you have taken, and we are happy to provide guidance on the next steps. For example, the courses you can take through our accounting series.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, next question is why was the accounting series designed as a series rather than a single certificate? How long will it take to complete, I guess, the whole series?
Okay. So the certificate So the accounting series is designed as a series rather than a single certificate because uh, we have learners with different levels of prior knowledge in accounting, right? So we learners can start with the foundations in accounting if they have no prior accounting knowledge at all, right? However, if, for example, you have taken some accounting courses in the past, then it means that you do not have to start from the very beginning at level one, right? You may start with level two or level three instead. So this series is designed to satisfy the needs of learners with different levels of accounting knowledge. And how long will it take to complete? So for each certificate, generally it takes a year and a year and a half to complete. But again, the certificates are flexible, right? You may take more courses if it works for you, right? It means that it will take less time for you to complete each certificate.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, next question is how is it different getting this certification than getting an accounting degree? And also, what is the pass course for each course? Pass grade for each course.
Um, so our certificate is flexible, right? So it means that um, the certificate is designed for working professionals. So you may have a full-time job, but at the same time, you want to pursue a certificate in accounting, which prepares you uh, with the accounting knowledge. And in addition, if your ultimate goal is the CPA designation, you meet the academic prerequisite requirements to for the CPA professional program, right? What's the pass grade for each course? Um, so the pass grade is 50%, right? But again, if your ultimate goal is the CPA designation, CPA Ontario does have a requirement in terms of the grade you need to achieve for each specific course. So this kind of information is available on CPA Ontario's website. So if you are interested, again, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to provide this kind of information to you.
Thank you, Jujita, for that question, and thank you, Dongning, for the answer. Okay, moving on. Next question is, would you recommend pursuing CPA immediately after the series or getting some work experience and working first?
Um, so I would say that pursuing CPA is a long journey, right? Um, After this series, you may enter the CPA professional program, which also includes different modules and courses that you need to complete. And usually people would work while completing this professional program. And in fact, in order to get your CPA, eventually you do need work experience. So it doesn't conflict with each other. So you may work at the same time pursue the CPA designation.
That's a great answer. Thank you. Thanks, Dongning. So moving on to a different gear now, what about software? So what accounting software or technology do students get exposure to and what are they using?
Um, so I would say that first of all, uh, the Microsoft Office, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on. And the most important, I would say, is Excel. So every accountant should be comfortable using Excel. And at the same time, when you're taking courses like statistics, um, information systems, you will get exposure to statistical softwares. Um, Anything else? You may get exposure to some databases as well, but it depends on the specific courses.
And what kind of jobs? I think this is, a question that we always get in terms of what the outcome is, what kind of career outcomes you might get, and what kind of jobs would we be able to get after the certificates?
So the certificates prepare students for CPA certification and also make sure that students have practical skills for entry-level positions like a bookkeeper, accounting technician, accounting clerk, and so on. So there will be more career opportunities after you complete all four levels of the accounting certificates, right? And you can enter into the professional program, and then completing the professional program, pass the examination and get the CPA designation. And with the CPA certification, you can work in fields such as financial analysis, auditing, tax, consulting, and so on.
Okay, next one is, are there additional resources or workshops to help prepare students for the CPA PEP and the common final examination?
So we currently have career coaching and advising, but we do not have specific courses to help prepare students for the CPA PEP and common final examination. But this is something that is under our consideration. So there's discussion happening at this time about this kind of courses or materials. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Yes, stay tuned and always check our websites because we're always posting updates on it. Okay, next question is someone with an engineering background wants to know if they have an advantage to pursuing an accounting profession.
Um, Engineering background. So I would say that the certificates are designed for um, people who want to switch to accounting, so who have no accounting background but want to switch to accounting or business or finance and so on. So I don't know anything about engineering, in fact, but of course, you are a mature learner, right? So, and our program is flexible. So you can work on your own pace that fits your own commitments. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. And I think there's always, when someone comes in from a different background, there's always transferable skills that they're bringing in, right? Organization, dealing with numbers, things like that. And so I think those transferable skills will always put someone not in an advantage, but they will definitely help in pursuing that accounting profession. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Okay, one more question. Oh, we've got two more that are in now. So one is, how does the program support collaboration and networking among students, staff, and instructors? So if there's any collaboration, if there's networking between the students and staff, or is it completely offline when you're not interacting with anyone?
So we have a network of students, instructors, alumni, and we also have advising and coaching team for uh, career advice, And we also have workshops. For example, we help you build your CV. We prepare you for interviews and so on. So of course, you are not alone. And there's network available that supports collaboration and networking among students, staff, and instructors.
Brilliant, thanks. And there's also sometimes we host networking events, which are virtual and in person. So look out for those as well in our events page, and you're most welcome to join. Okay, next question is, can you speak to the work-life balance of the accounting profession, public versus private work environments?
Sure. Work-life balance. So let's start with the strengths of accounting.
Yes. Yeah. So
So
basically, if you're working in a public work environment, is it more uh, rigorous in terms of your work-life balance as opposed to in a private work environment? Yeah.
sure. So in public accounting, for example, audit or tax at an accounting firm, the work can be more demanding depending so during busy periods, right? Audit teams are often very busy around um, clients' year-end reporting cycles, right? And tax professionals have um, peak periods around filing deadlines. So these roles can involve longer hours at certain times of year. But I would say that these roles also provide strong training and they expose you to different industries and a clear professional development path. In private industry, the schedule is often more consistent, right? There can still be busy periods around month end, quarter end, or year end, but the workload may be more predictable overall, right? Roles in financial reporting, management accounting, finance can offer different balances of routine work. So there's no single accounting lifestyle, right? So the profession gives you flexibility to pursue different settings over time. Um, so you may choose, so depending on the type of work, um, the work-life balance that suits you.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. It obviously always depends on, even though you're in a private or public environment, what the work is, where you're working, it all depends on that and what the work-life balance is. And it's also what you sort of make of it, right? So yeah, thank you. Thanks for your answer, Dongming. So at this point, there are no more open questions. So yeah, if you'd like to make any final comments, we can go ahead with that. And then there is one last poll that I want to do.
All right. Um, yeah, I just wanted to thank you again for joining us today. And if you have any questions, or if you have completed any previous coursework in accounting, feel free to contact us. And if you have any questions about admission or enrollment, just contact us at ce@torontomu.ca.
Perfect. Okay, so before I do my closing remarks, I wanted to do one last poll about, just getting some feedback on how did we do, and how likely are you to take a course from this certificate. You've got three options there, very, somewhat, and not likely. So yeah, please take a couple of more seconds to do that. And I just want to take this moment to thank our presenter, Dongning Yu, also Corinne Ellison, who's on the call answering questions in the background. Thank you for joining as well, and thanks to all of you for taking the time out of your day to attend today's online session. If you're interested to learn more about any of the accounting certificates, please visit our website at continuing.torontomu.ca. And if you have any other questions, please contact me at mash.chaudhry@torontomu.ca. All of the information that we shared will be sent to you, and also a recording of this session within the next 24 to 48 hours. And on behalf of the Chang School and our presenters, I wanted to thank you all for joining us today and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.